Good morning to former Labour MP and Reform defector Simon Danczuk. Morning, Si. How you doing?
Good morning. Good to join you.
You too, my friend. We're waking up to the news that 1 million more people are now claiming benefits without, and I think this is really important, Si, the need to look for work. And we've reached 4 million. And I've qualified because what happens when you have this debate is people who go, but I'm disabled, I'm mentally ill, a Reform government or you people are saying I'm going to lose it. No, we're not. These are the people the system was set up to help. In essence, it's the people that are gaming the system, yes?
Absolutely, it's people gaming the system, and it's on Labour's watch, isn't it? This has gone up. They can't blame the previous administration, as they have done for so many other things. This has happened over the last 12 months while Labour have been in control, and there's no doubt about it that people see a Labour government as a government that hands out free money, and they're taking it. And that's the major problem that we have. And what's going to get worse is that we're going to see Rachel Reeves in the forthcoming budget get rid of the 2-child benefit cap. So there's even more free money for people who are on benefits. I mean, this is not sustainable for Britain, I have to say. We are running into an economic disaster.
You were a Labour MP, you defected. It's quite interesting that some of the decisions that need to be made by Starmer, like, you know, quelling the welfare budget, making decisions, the Labour Party will not let him go through. You touched upon then the 2-child cap benefit. For people, I'm just going to explain it in layperson's terms. In this country, if you have one kid, you get, I think, about £26 a week. Second one, 17. And it was capped at that. It was capped because I thought successive governments quite rightly said, look, you know, you should only have kids if you can afford to pay it. I listened to Rachel Reeves yesterday going, we shouldn't be allowing kids to be born into poverty, so we're going to abolish that and give you whatever it is a week for as many kids as you want. Surely, with respect, you shouldn't have those kids, Simon, if you can't afford them. And if you rely on a state that's skint to deflect money from worthy causes and people who need it towards the feckless sitting around procreating the whole time.
Yeah, well, that's the philosophical debate, isn't it, between Labour and other political parties. Labour seem to think that the state is there to provide handouts and to look after the public, whatever situation they find themselves in. But the alternative to that, and I would support this, is that people have to look after themselves primarily. That has to be the responsibility, that people look after their own children. It's not for the state to continually look after people's children. So, I mean, this is the crux of the whole political debate. And Labour are getting this badly wrong. And that's why Starmer is in such a position. He has no choice but to support, in an attempt to hold on to his premiership. His backbench Labour MPs are out to get him if he doesn't make some of these changes. That's the situation he finds himself in.
Let's talk about him, actually. In front of the Times this morning, Starmer vows to defend the leadership from feral Labour MPs. Sources inside Number 10 yesterday saying that he will fight back against people willing or starting to talk behind his back. They seem to put pressure on Wes Streeting. Now, Wes has been a fan on this station many times. He's on the Labour round this morning and refusing to come on talk, which is very interesting to me. But whether it's Wes Streeting or Angela Rayner or Lucy Powell, it won't be Calamity Lammy, he'll be gone. It's hardly surprising. It's shocking to think it was only 17 months ago he strode into Downing Street, but he has to be, without being personal, one of the most incompetent, impractical and just a failure in the job by a mile, Simon. I'm not surprised that they're gearing up to throw him out, are you?
No, not at all. Just to explain it to your to listeners and viewers, I mean, this is unprecedented. With it less than 18 months into his premiership, you've got a Labour Prime Minister, and he's orchestrated this, coming out publicly saying he won't be beaten by his internal rivals. That's what he's having to do. In the run-up to the 26th of November budget, he's exceptionally vulnerable to a challenge, and he's having to come out and name people. Spokespeople for the Prime Minister are going out naming Wes Streeting, Shabana Mahmood as potential challengers. and doing that deliberately to try and prop up Keir Starmer, because, as you say, he's such a poor leader that he's vulnerable to somebody taking over from him. And we've never, I can't recall seeing this in my 30-odd years in British politics.
Interestingly, he says, he wipes all the text off the screen because he's completely incompetent technically, that's me. Interestingly, Wes Streeting's just been on Sky denying being behind any sort of plot, talking about pledging billions of pounds for patient care, doing what all politicians do, deflecting. But I look at, you were a Labour MP. I wanted to bring in Calamity Lammy. I know he sort of now got that title, but you do look at Starmer and then you look at that front bench and you just, I mean, my head is in my hands this morning. 91 prisoners released by mistake in the past year. Calamity Lammy, the man doesn't even know to wear a poppy, stands up yesterday and says, there are 3 still at large, including an Albanian drug dealer. I think, but I'm not sure. How in the name of God, Simon, seriously, does somebody as appallingly thick as David Lammy get to where he's got to? Because we need to call it out. It's not even funny. The man's as incompetent as they come, isn't he?
Yeah, I was saying this on X just a couple of days ago. David Lammy has been over-promoted. I mean, there's no doubt about that. And people within the Parliamentary Labour Party, remember, I were in the Parliamentary Labour Party for 7 years, so I know many of the people involved in all these stories. And it's well regarded that Lammy is over-promoted, not least because he's big mates with Starmer. This is the North London Labour elite who are looking after themselves. He shouldn't be in the position that he's in, and now he's Deputy Prime Minister. He was given that as a sop for having the Foreign Secretary job taken off him. I mean, the guy is over promoted, shouldn't be doing what he's doing. He should at best be on the back benches.
At best, I'm wondering how he became an MP. So you're waking up to the story that 1 million more people, that's 4 million in total, are signing on without any incentive to work. We're asking this morning on Morning Glory, how do we get people back to work, and does work pay? What do you make of that? 87222. Start your message with the word talk. Your voice notes always welcome. 0344 499 1000. Simon Danczuk with us, former Labour MP. Simon, I can't let you go before we talk about the BBC. This has been rumbling on for days. Overnight, Donald Trump confirming on Fox News that he will indeed sue the Beeb for $1 billion. This was Donald overnight. Have a watch.
Are you going ahead and suing the BBC?
Well, I guess I have to. You know, why not? Because they defrauded the public, and they've admitted it. And their top echelon,
Director General and the CEO,
this
both
is
resigned.
within one of our great allies. You know, this is supposedly our great ally, BBC. The government has a chunk of that one, I guess. But that's a pretty sad event. They actually changed my January 6th speech, which was a beautiful speech, which was a very calming speech, and they made it sound radical. And they actually changed it. What they did was rather incredible. They're showing me the results later on, the results of what they did, how they butchered it up. But it was very dishonest, and the head man quit, and a lot of the other people.
Simon, I've been saying for about 3 days that taking Trump aside, because, yes, of course, he's going to do that because that's Donald Trump. What really sticks in my gut is that all of these lovies come out. Lisa Nandy's saying they're a light on the hill. John Simpson, you know, we're under attack. Nick Robinson from the far right. No, let's list it again, shall we, people? Jimmy Savile, Hugh Edwards still getting £200,000 a year. A Hamas documentary we paid as licence fee payers to a Hamas official's son. Two news stories a week having to be retracted because they're biased on the Gaza war. Anti-Israeli. Bob Villan stood on stage at Glastonbury being streamed shouting death, death to the IDF. The list goes on. Martin Croxall, that fantastic female newsreader, being censured by BBC Verify for changing pregnant people to pregnant woman. Simon, the BBC's rotten. It's biased, isn't it? This is beyond Trump, isn't it, pal?
Yes, absolutely. This is the British Broadcasting Corporation damaging our reputation across the world. I mean, this has damaged our relationship with the United States and the president there. And it goes beyond that, doesn't it? It's not sustainable. The BBC, in its current form, is not sustainable. And I suspect any political party that comes out and says they will cut the licence fee, they'll make it subscription or whatever else, radically reform it, will get a lot of votes at the next general election. And that's what reform stands on. I'm not sure if any of the other parties will, but we can't go on with the BBC in its current form.
I think, and Nigel said it yesterday, and you're saying it today, I think not even about reform. Somebody needs to go, the playing field needs to be levelled. You're getting £5.39 billion a year. There's definitely a left-wing ideology, a centrist liberal left-wing ideology. You're supposed to be the state broadcaster. You're supposed to be straight down the middle. You are patently not. And that means that those of us who are paying for you have a right to complain. That's how I see it, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the good news from this is that it's flushed out all the lefty liberals, hasn't it? We know who all they are, and we know what they stand for. But it cannot carry on in this current form, and there has to be radical change. And that's what the public are calling for. They've had enough. You're
a good man. We love to have you on. Are you going to stand for reform in the next election?
Oh, well, that's to be seen. If they want me, then I will do. But, I mean, I've got plenty on my plate as it is.
You're a good man, Simon Danczuk. Thank you for being on. Former Labour MP, reform defector, 7:20.